first visit, I remember getting her ready, putting her in the cutest little outfit I could find, the cutest little headband. Will and I decided to write him a really nice letter, telling him, how much she's grown, how well she's doing, how much we love her, how hard this must be for them, And I remember the parents came out, and it was the first time I met them, and, I shook both their hands, and they both thanked me for the letter and for taking care of their daughter, and they were very nice, and it was such a weird feeling, because as much as I loved Lexi and I wanted her to be ours, I never wanted to wish harm or bad on her parents. Her birth parents loved her. They weren't horrible people. They just did horrible things. And it was such a weird mix of emotions, because I wanted them to do well. They had 2 other girls. I wanted them to succeed and, get off drugs and do well. But at the same time, I allowed myself to feel like she was ours. It was actually March 1st of 2018 that was our last visit. They visited with her, and the next week rolls around and I get a call. Parents have decided they don't want to visit. They want her to be adopted, that they really like you guys. And I think, what they needed was to see that she was okay, to see that she was with people who loved her. And part of me actually admired the parents, that they were able to see that they couldn't give her the life that they deserved, that she, they wanted better for her. And, I think that took a really strong person to say, I can't raise my daughter. I want you to. And then I felt silly for being so angry at God, why was I so angry? But, the part of me was still going, but what was that for? Why did you do, what was the whole point of that? I just couldn't understand it, but I was no longer angry. I told him sorry. But we then went on our first little family vacation to Florida, and that was fun. It was stormed the whole time. The whole week we were there. But we had managed to get one day out on the beach. It was cloudy, but we went out there, and we get a call from our social worker, and she's like, I'm calling, to see if you guys wanted to take 2 girls. We have a placement for you. And we were like, no. And then she's like, well, it's actually Lexi's 2 older sisters, Addie and Anna. And then we were like, oh, well, yeah, let us, kind of think about it, and, we'll get back to you. And after we got the call, when we decided, yes, we're going to do this, Will calls his brother to tell his brother, hey, we're going to, take on Lexi's 2 older sisters. And before he could even tell him, he gets on the phone, and his brother Ben was like, yeah, I did your landscaping while you guys are out of town. He's like, I bought some sunflowers because I know they're Jess's favorite. He's like, I planted one for her, one for you, one for Lexi, but I got 2 more. Who do you want me to plant them for? And I was like, there's the sign. We're supposed to, this is the plan. We're supposed to have all 3 girls. It's just what meant to be. We have a picture of when the first day they all met, and all 3 together, and they already have their arms on her and smiling. They just loved her. And I remember it didn't take long of just watching the 3 interact that I knew that they were meant to be together. It was about, I think, a month or 2 in that a light bulb, I was like, that's why you put me through those 6 weeks of hell, was because you had a bigger plan than what I could have imagined. If Lexi's parents never came in when they did, we might have been so far along in the adoption process that we might not have been able to A, take Addie and Anna, B, maybe they wouldn't have called us, because sometimes when you're in the process of adopting a child, foster care won't let you take on new placements. There were so many different possibilities that might have happened, but it all clicked. He had to intervene the way he did to slow down the process, to then allow us to then take on all 3 girls. And it's just kind of what I want people to take from a lot of this is, you might think what plan God has for you. I thought I knew at 17. God's plan was I was going to adopt a baby girl, and I was going to live happily ever after. And that's what I saw. But I only saw little bullet points of his plan. I didn't fully see what his plan was. And his plan was 10 times bigger and 10 times more amazing than the plan that I thought that I knew. And when things seem difficult or they're not going the way you thought, I just wish somebody would have told me, be patient, have faith, and, in the end, it's going to be a bigger plan than what you imagined. And it would have saved me a lot of tears, a lot of heartache, a lot of pain if I would have just been patient and had faith.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Warren County Probate Court. This is one of the times you don't mind going to court.
Yeah.
I'm glad I get to preside over this. So, a pleasant time, at least, that you come to court. My name is Andy Severs. I'm a magistrate here, Judge Kirby, who normally holds these adoptions. I'm able to have the adoption, so he asked me to sit in for him. So, let's go ahead and get started on the joyous event. Ms. Dunlap,
All right.
you may proceed.
The parents will both testify.
Is there any other evidence by anyone that wish to present prior to my decision?
No, you're not.
All right. This matter came before the court on the petition of William Stevenson and Jessica Stevenson for the adoption and change of name of the 3 children. Court finds that notice has been given to all parties, that all consents have been filed or have been found not to be required, that the allegations in the petition are true, that the minors have been lawfully placed in the home of the petitioner, that the minors have lived in the home of their petitioners for 6 months as required by law, that a report of the assessor has been filed and is approved, that the adoption is in the best interest of the minors being adopted, and that the accounting that's required have been filed, reviewed, and approved, and that the minors are adopted persons. It is therefore ordered that the petition of adoption is granted and the name of the minors be changed as follows: Annabelle Jean Stevenson, Adriana Hazel Stevenson, and last but not least, Alexis Ann Stevenson. Congratulations.